grade. It's Mr. Reynolds here. I'm going to be giving you guys a music lesson today. I'm getting a little message here. It says check my microphone. Oh, shoot. Looks like it's working. Sorry about that. So anyway, here we go with a lesson for fourth graders at the end of September, just before fall break. And this lesson is going to start out with a song some of you guys might know from last year. Mr. Tex here at Spanish Springs comes around and sings this song from time to time. But for fourth graders, it's especially important. So listen up to a song called Old Dan Tucker. I know you're learning about the Westward Expansion in fourth grade, and this is one of the songs about that.
Old Dan Tucker's a fine old man, washed his face in a frying pan, combed his head with a wagon wheel, and died with a toothpick in his heel.
Get out the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. Supper's over, dinner is cooking, and old Dan Tucker just stands there looking.
He's just staring. Let's start this one over. Now remember, old Dan Tucker washes his face in a frying pan, combs his hair with a wagon wheel, and dies with a toothache in his heel.
Old Dan Tucker is a fine old man, washed his face in a frying pan, combed his hair with a wagon wheel, and died with a toothache in his heel. Get out the way, old Dan Tucker, you're too late to get your supper. Supper's over, dinner is cooking, and old Dan Tucker just stands there looking.
I'm not sure Dan Tucker's the smartest guy around. It's a great song though. And we'll do more with that song next time, but I wanted to get started with that one and let you know that I know you're studying about the Westward Expansion. So we're going to do some music, and then we're going to get back to the Westward Expansion with a very, very famous song that's in a lot of movies, anything to do with the Westward Expansion coming through Nevada, the gold rush into California and Nevada. But before we do that, let's do some music, and I'm going to use these rhythm cards just to make sure we know that in fourth grade we should be counting. So when we're younger, we said ta, rest, ti, ta, but we're in fourth grade, so we should be counting 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when we get to the TT here, we say the number first, 3 and 4. I bet a lot of you could raise your hand and say, I already know that, because it's something that you've learned already. Now let's go ahead and do some of these using, I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to actually do that with a little miniature version of myself. It's kind of my little mini Mr. Reynolds there. And if you take a look, you'll see that I'm clapping. And on that little chalkboard there, it says rhythms, clap and count. And if I click here, we'll hear that.
It's time for rhythms. Let's clap and count.
All right, so we're going to clap with our hands, one hand flat, 2 fingers to clap. We're going to also count by saying 1, 2, 3, 4. There's always 4. Here we go.
1, 2, ready, go.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Remember, if there's 2 together, we say the number first, 3, and then and. Okay? Let's do this one again. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to keep going.
1, 2, ready, go.
1, 2, 3, 4. I like to whisper on the rest.
1, 2, ready, go.
1, 2, and 3, 4. So that time it was 2 and then and. Good. I'm going quick.
1, 2, ready, go.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, whispering on the rests.
1, 2, ready, go.
1 and 2 and 3, 4. Super.
1, 2, ready, go.
1 and 2 and 3, 4. Good.
1, 2, ready, go.
1 and 2, 3 and 4. Yeah, you got to be focused. These things happen fast. Be ready.
1, 2, ready, go.
Rest. 2, 3, and 4. Whoops, I said rest. I should have said 1. Let's do it again. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Keep going.
1, 2, ready, go.
1, 2, 3, 4. That was easy.
1, 2, ready, go.
1, 2, and 3, and 4. So there's 2 TTs there. So the first one is 2 and the second one is 3 and. Good. Oh, we're done. I love that there's clapping on that. That's really fun. Now, doing rhythms and clapping and counting is good. Fourth grade, we got to keep doing those all the time, just every little bit here and there so that we get really good. And then in fifth grade, and then eventually in sixth grade, we can play a band, an orchestra, or choir. And they're going to just expect you to be able to do that. The kids at the other schools are learning that, so that's important. Now, the next song we're going to do has to do with the Westward Expansion. And it's very popular in a lot of Westward movies or old Western movies. You're going to hear this song sung in the background or played on the soundtrack. It's called Sweet Betsy from Pike. Now, the name Betsy, I hear it every now and then. It's not super common today, but Sweet Betsy just means that she's sweet, she's kind, she's a friendly girl, and she's from a place called Pike. So let's find out about what this is all about by getting our good friend, Mr. Tex, who a lot of you guys know because he's been here at Spanish Springs Elementary for years and years. And so if you're at a different school watching this, he's great music sub at Spanish Springs for many years. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Here's Mr. Tex sitting in the library, actually, at Spanish Springs Elementary. And he's looking great, and he's going to share with us about Sweet Betsy from Pike, and then he's going to go ahead and sing it. So listen close to this. Tell me about Sweet Betsy from Pike.
It's a song about the traveling to the gold strike in 1849 cross country. Some say it was written by a fellow named Old Putt, but nobody knows that for certain. But it certainly illustrates how hard it was to get from the East Coast to the West Coast back in those days, the gold strike. And the song itself is comes from, the melody comes from England. It was called Dinah and Her Balkans, but they changed the words and to Sweet Betsy from Pike. If you see a Western movie and they're singing a song, it's more than likely Old Paint or Sweet Betsy from Pike. And it's got a wonderful story to it and some nonsense words, and the nonsense word can vary from place to place. Some versions say lover, her lover Ike, some say her husband Ike. Mine says her husband Ike. It goes like this. Did you ever hear, oh, by the way, I've got a cold, so my voice isn't going to be good.
You sound great, Tex, I know.
Let me see if I make up any other excuses. Did you ever hear tell of Sweet Betsy from Pike? She crossed the wide prairies with her husband Ike, with 2 yoke of oxen and 1 spotted hog, a fat Shanghai rooster and an old yeller dog, singing to-ra-la-lu-ra, holla-hing-di-ya-yay. One evening quite early they camped by a stream to reach California, well that was their dream. The Shanghai was et and the cattle all died. The last strip of bacon that morning was fried, singing to-ra-la-lu-ra, holla-hing-di-ya-yay. And sometimes I'll stop and say to class, what does that mean? The last strip of bacon was fried and the Shanghai was et, and they had to figure out that they were starving and they ate all the animals. They swam the wide rivers and crossed the tall peaks, lived on wild berries and water for weeks. I got discouraged and Betsy got mad. The dog wagged his tail and looked awfully sad, singing to-ra-la-lu-ra, holla-hing-di-ya-yay. And to the kids also I say, when they mention the Great Desert, that's just east of here. They reached the great desert and Betsy gave out. Down in the sand she lay rolling about. I kept distracted, looked on with surprise, saying, Betsy, get up, you'll get sand in your eyes, singing to-ra-la-lu-ra, holla-hing-di-ya-yay. Betsy got up in a great deal of pain, declared she'd go back to Pike County again. But I gave a sigh and they fondly embraced. He traveled along with his arm round her waist, singing to-ra-la-lu-ra, holla-hing-di-ya-yay. Well, they suddenly stopped on a very high hill, and with wonder looked down upon old Placerville. Ike said to Betsy as he cast his eyes down, Sweet Betsy, my darling, we got to Hangtown, singing to-ra-la-lu-ra, holla-hing-di-ya-yay. And Placerville, California in those days, they called Hangtown. And when you got that, you were safe, you had food, water, sort of like Reno. It was one of the places that you made it across the desert. young Ike and sweet Betsy attended a dance, and Ike wore a pair of his Pike County pants. Betsy was covered with ribbons and rings, and a hat with the quills from the old Shanghai swings, singing to ra la lu ra la hing da ya. And this verse, it's a little obscure, but the miner asked her to dance, but they had to drink water with alkali crossing the western United States. And so she mentions that to the miner. A miner said, Betsy, will you dance with me? I will that, old hoss, but don't make too free. And don't dance me hard, do you want to know why? Doggo, you a chock full of strong alkali. Singing to ra-la-lu-ra-la-hing-da-ya-ya. They were 6 months in Hangtown when Ike met a girl, a sweet-looking dancer who gave him a twirl. He spoke up for Betsy as just an old horse. What was Betsy to do? She gave Ike a divorce. And we're short on time, so we'll skip the nonsense words. She struck gold and went back to Pike, so they say. And Ike lost his dancer and soon passed away. This tale is touching, go cry if you like, but she's a mighty fine woman, sweet Betsy from Pike.
That's great, Tex. Thank you so much for sharing that. And just a quick question. This is obviously a lot about the westward movement, so it could be used in classes for that. And what about using it at different grade levels or for kids that are at different ages?
I've used it from 3rd grade all the way through 6th grade. And they seem to like the nonsense words especially, and they understand the story. And I give it a little preview about what it was like then and why everybody was trying to get westward to find gold. And so put a little history in there, especially applicable to 4th and 5th grade, which that's what they study.
Well, guys, that's so great. I'm glad we were able to see Mr. Tex do that. Thank you for watching that. And you could see that he was saying 4th grade because westward expansion through the 4th grade. You guys are learning all about Nevada and how those people came across the desert, and the water was alkali, and you can find out about that. It's a little science lesson maybe your teacher can do with you, or you can look that up. The water was, you could drink it, but it caused some problems because it was alkali. So but when they got to Hangtown, which is another old name for Placerville, Placerville's just over the hill. If you go to, if you've ever gone to the Apple Festival over there, that's over in that area. Beautiful part of California, and people were so glad to get there, and they knew they could. They survived the hard desert and then the climbing over the mountain to get to Placerville. So thanks for enjoying that with me, and Mr. Tex shared that so nicely. Now, we're going to finish up the day with a song, and I'm just going to play a little bit of it today. We'll do more with it in the future. This is a song about our country. It's called This Is My Country, and it's a really popular song. Kids learn it all over the place, all 50 states and more. It's about our country being my country. It's a country for all of us to enjoy. So let's listen to this.
This is my country, land of my birth. This is my country, grandest on earth. I pledge thee my allegiance, America the foe. For this is my country, to have and to hold.
I bet a lot of you could raise your hand and say, I've heard that song before, or you might have learned it in 3rd grade. It is a 4th grade song in our school, and This Is My Country, Land That I Love. I pledge my allegiance to America. It's a great song to think about as we're approaching Veterans Day, and we're going to be talking about that in November. Now, listen, kids, it's almost October, so next week is a fall break, and then we're into October, and we'll talk about Nevada Day, which is on the same day as another famous holiday. I bet you know that one. So we'll talk about that next time in 4th grade. Thanks for being here today. And Tucker, we counted rhythms, and Tex shared Sweet Betsy from Pike. What a great time. We'll see you next time, 4th grade. Take care. Bye-bye.